Welcome to the Ultimate Beginner's Guide for Nightingale, created with more than 18 months of thorough play testing during game development. And in this guide, I'll cover all the essentials that you'll need to dive into the game, along with some helpful tips and tricks, plus a personal strategy that I always use that gives me a significant early advantage. Consider this guide your initial leap towards becoming a Nightingale master. So gear up, Realm Walkers, and let's dive into this adventure together. First of all, let's go ahead and take a look at the user interface so you can understand what you're looking at and you can go from there. At the top of your screen is a compass so you can see what direction you're at, and if you have different points of interest on the map, they will actually show up there and you can kind of guide your way home, like your home base, for instance. If we hit I, we can bring up our inventory. It is a weight system. There's 3 different tabs. One is for essence. This is like a currency we can use to purchase things from traders. We can use it for crafting and as well as upgrading and repairing our gear. If we go over to our gear and we right click on it, right now I can't do anything, but you would get an option to repair it. The other tab is realm cards. We have 2 on us right now because we just finished talking to Puck and he actually gave this to us. This is the portal right here, and this right here, which actually looks like an old-fashioned printing press, this is where we play our cards. So you just drag them over. You can also change the difficulty down here, easy, medium, hard, extreme. We'll just leave it on medium. And a summary of the whole thing of the cards that you played, what they do, as well as NPCs that you may find. And because this is tutorial, this is kind of low right now, but that's fine. If I come back out and I hadn't hit open portal, they just come back to my inventory. They do not stay in here. So let's go ahead and hit that. We'll wait for this to come up. So if we hit J, that'll bring up our quest journal. And the only quest we have right now is for the tutorial. Puck wants us to acquire raw berries. And while you might be tempted to run through this really quick to get to the end so you can get through the tutorial, I urge you to pause and loot this area until you're over encumbered or almost over encumbered. You can find your encumbrance down here at the bottom of your inventory right here. You also have a capacity of 75 or 50 pounds, whatever comes first. You can see what kind of dust essence you have. You have a repair all and all your gear, your armor. Right here at the bottom, 1 through 5 is where you would put your weapons and tools, and 6 through 0 is things like consumables, health potions, food, things like that. Any kind of potion that might give you a buff for a boss fight or whatever, you can put those down here. We have our health bar, we have our rest bar, and we have our hunger bar. If any one of these hits completely to 0, you will die. You also have debuffs right here, and food buffs will appear right here. You have all your critical information, like all your breakdown of stats and things. This is pretty cool. It kind of tells you what you're looking at right now. What we're going to do is grab as much stuff as we can get our grubby little hands on. So sticks like this, pieces of grass that we can pick, all of this. It's all going to make sense later. Right now, it might take you a little bit longer to get through the tutorial, but trust me, this is worth doing. I've got about, at this point, at the game launch, I've got over 50 hours into this game. I was part of a focus group with a number of other creators where we've been testing this game for Inflection Games over the last 18 months. And they gave us a copy of the game about 2 weeks early, and we've been kind of grinding through it. So I'm telling you, this is exactly what you want to do early. It's going to save you so much time in the long run. You can go ahead without it, but I guarantee you this is what you want to do. Another thing that we're going to need is stones. Now, whereas most games just have stones lying around that you can pick up, we're looking for specific types of stone. This one right here, this little grouping of stones is what we can collect. We're going to pick up some of these as well. Probably enough for right now. And I'm going to go back through and grab more of this until I'm about just hitting encumbrance. And then we'll continue. So I'm just under encumbrance. The next thing to do for me is to eat my raw berries. And because I'm on number 6, I have them in my hand. You see the little bag. And if I hit F, I can just eat. That's unlocked a new blueprint, the campfire, and he's going to want us to build a campfire. So let's come over here to this portal. In order to build this campfire, we want to hit B. B is going to bring up our blueprint menu. And right now we only have one because we're in the tutorial, but that's fine. When we select it, it's going to give us a number of different things. First of all, down here at the bottom right, it's going to give us the recipes that this will unlock. Any notes to tell us more about it. We can track it and add it right over here to our UI if we want to keep that up so we know what we need to collect. Workbenches in Nightingale have different things like augments, whereas you can see right here, this tier 1 campfire has 4 different augments that we can have. All the valid augments are down here. You can unlock these as blueprints playing the game, either through POIs, quests, and traders, along with building blueprints like these. All that can be bought through traders, quests, or doing POI. Basically, the game pushes you to explore, which then rewards you with new blueprints that you can then go ahead back to your base, build to upgrade your gear, your weapons, make consumables, food, potions, ammunition for weapons. There are firearms in the game, anything like that that will make you stronger, raise your gear score, which can be found right here. And it's accumulation of what you're holding and all of your armor. So you can see our gear score is level 3 at the start. This is not very good. Really come into play later on in the game, and I do plan to have a guide that talks specifically just about crafting because crafting can get quite in depth. We want to go ahead and place this. We can place it right there. Now we can go ahead and highlight over it, and it tells us right above it. First of all, you see the 4 different augment slots. If we had anything that was augmenting it, there'd be a check mark in one of those little black boxes instead of just black with a white X. But if we go ahead and go like that with E, it'll go ahead and fill it. Workbenches and other stations in Nightingale have multiple interaction points. Interact with the fire pit area of the campfire to manage fuel and flame. After igniting, interact with the cooking pot to begin cooking. Select your recipe. And it actually goes through everything pretty good. So if we go like this, we can actually drag a few things in, hit ignite. Then we can just hit E. But if we want to do more to it, add more fire, and there's still stuff in, if we hold E, we can add from the inventory. We can inspect it, and it'll tell us we have the grit trait right now because it's on the ground. So refinement time is increased by 15 seconds. So you want to keep all of your crafting things on a foundation. You want to get them off the ground. You don't want them exposed as well. This will do damage over time. Now, if we click on the little pot up here, we can start crafting. If you collect show unknown, you're going to see all the different recipes that can be all unlocked with this particular bench. There's a heck of a lot more to build, so don't let this fool you. But for right now, all we can make is roasted berries, and that's kind of what he wants us to make anyways, so we'll just select it there. We'll max it out and we'll let it go. Now, you don't have to stand here. You can go walk away, do other things, and while we're waiting for this to happen, we can come in here and we can take all these. We're going to extract them. So if I highlight over them with my mouse, right click, I get extract or exit. I want to extract. This is going to tell me I'm going to extract 100 pieces of plant fiber for 100 essence. Yes, please. I want all of that. I want all of this gone. It's all going to make sense shortly. So now we have 256. These are done. Now I can come over here and inspect this. There's nothing left here. Another thing that you can do, you can move this. So if you put it in a place in your base, you just don't like it and you want to move it. And I have firewood. Actually, let's put a little bit of wood in here and I'll show you because that doesn't matter. You can move it with items in it. So if you're moving a storage bench and you have it full of items, you don't need to empty it to move it. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and throw this in here. We have 5 in there. And if I hit X, that brings up build mode. And if I highlight over it and hit R, you can see down here, it tells us everything. Structure limit of 350, all of that. If I hit R, I can just move this. So I moved it over here. I highlight back over it. I still have the 5 sticks, right? But I can also remove it by holding like this. I get all of my materials back. And of course, we're going to extract all of this. Once again, he's going to want us to go to another realm. So just like before, we're just going to drag and drop these cards over, select the difficulty that you want, and hit open portal. Now, down here at the bottom right, you have a running total of everything that you've lost or gained. If that bugs you and you want to turn it off, just hit escape, come into your settings, go down to gameplay, scroll all the way down to social. Under chat mode, you can hide it. Apply it, close it, and now it's gone. You'll never know what you're getting. Personally, I kind of like to have it, so I'm going to leave mine on, but you know, everybody's different. So let me go ahead and show it. And through the portal. All right. He's going to want us to make a stick hunt. This isn't too, I'm not too worried about this right now. What we want to do is start moving to the right here. In this particular one, we could do the same thing here. We can gather all the resources we want, kind of power through this, but there's a few things here that we're going to want to explore that we're never going to be back to this realm in this playthrough. So let's go ahead and run over. You can see this weird building over here. We're going to go over here and collect some things. Now you need to be careful of the environment. There are status effects and debuffs. Like right now we're tired, we're hungry, and we're hot. And once this crosses this middle line, well, it's getting close now. Our max stamina is reduced. Now, if you're a lore hunter, you're going to find stuff like this. It's called a Hope Echo. You want to go ahead and release this. This is going to give you a piece of lore. These are all over the place. So take your time and look around. We're going to climb up here. And we're going to come down here. There is a chest right here. If we come back to the front, we go up the stairs. Actually, come back to the front. Come right here. Come down in here. Right over here. Here is another chest. Now, there is one more POI here that we're going to go ahead and loot. Now, of course, like I said, you can just skip this. If you don't want to get ahead and you just want to do your thing, skip ahead. We got this building over here. We're going to loot this thing. We come up here and up. There is a chest right here. And this actually has a minor card treasury. This will increase the chance of finding essence. That's pretty nice. And the duelist card, increase the damage we deal as well as the damage we receive. Use that one on at your own risk. I'm just saying. Then there's another chest right over here. We have the thin veiled. Now you're going to find these as you go. These are augments that you can apply to gear, weapons, tools, and armor. We're not going to be able to use this right away because we do not, first of all, we don't have any real gear and it's so low that this won't apply. This is all grayed out. But if you find any that are really good, hold on to them because as you upgrade your weapons and your gear, those will all be prevalent. You'll also be able to craft them. So if you're looking for something specific, you'll find it. Or you'll craft it. I'm going to grab all the stuff that I can. Just like in the last realm. Like I said, this is all going to make sense here pretty soon. And it's going to give you a huge advantage. If we hit B, we now have the stick tent as a new placeable. These are pretty cool when you're exploring a realm and you need something real quick. You can go and put this in. Now we have this. If we highlight over it, you can see the sum total of everything that we need. We need 12 sticks and 6 plant fiber. We just hold E again, and it'll do it. There it is. And now we want a bedroll. So we hit B again. We've now unlocked the bedroll and we can place it wherever we want. Again, we'll do that. If your rest drops too low, you will begin to lose max stamina and you will succumb if it reaches 0. It will kill you. Rest buffs increase as the comfort level of your bed increases. Amenities such as light, heat, and furniture increase comfort value. Higher comfort levels adds the varying levels of bonuses to your health and stamina regeneration. Resting requires a minimum comfort level, and this is the minimum comfort level. So let's go ahead and rest because it's daylight. You can see everything's kind of popping up there. So now the quest wants us to make our own set of tools. If we hit C, this is going to get basically our first tiered workbenches right out of our inventory. These are very low score, but they're kind of worth it. So let's do a mining pick, hunting knife, do the sickle and the torch, and that's everything. Once we're done talking to Puck, he's going to have us go to the next portal. We want to come back into our inventory, and anything that we don't want, we're just going to extract. Because I want that essence. We're now at 444 essence, which we can find on the last tab here and right here. You'll have different colored and tiered essence as you go, and they'll be used for different things. Like I said, essence can be used to buy things from the trader, repair your items, and craft and upgrade. We step in the water. There are debuffs as well in the game. Right now I have the drench debuff, and this reduces my stamina regeneration drastically. I also have a relaxed buff because I slept, I rested under a roof on a fairly comfortable bed. At this point, Puck's going to want us to kill so that we can start making specific gear for ourselves. So we're going to need to find either prey or predators. We can see some predators over here. Let's go ahead and get these guys. Headshots work really nice. There's also something called a heart shot, and that does a crazy amount of damage. Equip your knife. Now as we go, you're going to see these towers. It is in your best interest to loot these while you're here. Now be careful of the swamp because you will get something called a disease effect. This will actually kill me here, but to prove a point, we'll let myself get the disease effect. We get out of the... And what the disease effect does is take your health down, as you can see right now. I'm going to pull this up. You can see right here, I have disease. They're taking damage every second. And it'll be like that until it goes away. I cure it, or it kills me. And it's going to kill me. To repair items, all you have to do is go into your inventory, right-click it, and as long as you have essence, which you can see down here, or in the under the essence tab, you can right-click an item, and now you can repair it. As you can see, it tells you how much essence you have and how much it's going to cost. There it is. You can also repair all, and it gives you a sum total of everything to repair. Now from here, you can select whatever one you want to start in. Personally, I like to start in the forest. The desert has a heat, kind of a heat thing going on, and swamp has disease. So I like to start in the forest. The mystery of the whole. But you can start wherever you want. It is in your best interest to check these towers out. You're going to find a lot of good stuff. There we go. We got some tin ingots. Blueberries. Some bound bristle, which is a better tier plant fiber. Here is some ore. There's an echo for some more lore, more tin. Right up here and down here is a chest. We're going to get that on the way out. There's a chest. We have a few things. Go ahead and loot. We have a chest right here. And an umbrella. That's beautiful. Umbrella, we're going to right click and equip it. We can now protect ourselves from the sun like the desert. So if you wanted to go to the desert, this would be your thing. There is our, right over there. You can see this is actually a really small map, but go ahead and double check everything here to make sure. Here is another bench. We're overweight. Now we are encumbered, which means we are over our maximum capacity. This can go up. It's not going to stay 50 forever, but just know that once you're encumbered, you cannot run, you cannot jump, you cannot do anything. So we are going to extract. All right, so I've kind of narrowed down to what I want to hold on to. I'm now sitting at 458 essence. This isn't enough for me. I'm telling you right now. You can go do the other tower. You get a bunch of other things as well, and probably another another umbrella. And there's no way for us to get down, so we're going to use the umbrella. So what we want to do is jump, and then we hit spacebar, and we can slowly float down as long as we have enough stamina. Now there's going to be a yellow bar right above our hot bar in the middle, and that's going to be ticking down quickly. And right now it's really low. So what you can do is like hit spacebar again so you free fall, and then hit spacebar again so you pull your umbrella out and you start gliding down to the end. And I'll show you what I mean. Just like that, we're done. I pull my map up, there's a couple things I can do. As I find things, I can, like right here, if I wanted to mark that there was a tower here, I can right click and there's map stamps, which will just go on. So say, I can say, well, there's a building here and there's a building over here. And I can just left click those to make them go away. Or like if I want to go to the portal, the world beacons, these are really nice. I put an anchor there. As you can see, it just shows up right in the middle of my screen and allows me to traverse there a lot easier. I can go off and do whatever I want. I'll be fine. And before we go, I think what I want to do is get a bunch of stuff. Let's go ahead and extract everything that we have, and we'll go over harvesting a little bit. There we go. Those are the things I want. Now, if I pick this one plant, I get 2 fiber. I've also crafted a sickle. If I use my sickle, I get 3. You can see now I have 5. And as you would expect, higher tiered would yield better results. That works for sticks. See, you can take multiple out at once. Really nice. It just kind of speeds up the harvesting process. We're now at 729. Actually, that is just perfect. We have more than enough. And this is going to boost us. You're going to save so much time doing this now than later. Sometimes when you're opening portals, you'll get the bound. They'll also come out at night, so it's not in your best interest if you don't want to fight them to not be venturing out at night. However, if you want the items that they drop, like the bound Bristol, a higher tier plant fiber, and it has stats, so you can see 10% health and stamina. It's pretty nice to craft with, honestly. You can find these guys at night, all over the place. Oh, shoot. So we are in our realm that we're going to start in. We hit M. There's a couple things. This is cool. You see this yellow icon right here. This is a quest giver and someone that we want to go ahead and talk to. We also have the essence trader right there as well, and a site of power there as part of the thing. Now, there is a realmic transmitter where we can play minor cards, and that would allow us to augment the world that we're in, and we'll do that shortly. And we have our portal, which is over here. And I'm not going to build over there. I'm actually just, I think this is a good spot, and it's near the trader. We can see right there. That's the antiquarian site of power. That is our first power site that we need to tackle. And in order to do that, we need to up our gear score. Is hit B, and you're going to see there's all kinds of things that we have now. We have an estate cairn. If we go over here, this is going to unlock a bunch of stuff for us. Suppresses creatures, keeps people from attacking us. You can see the recipes that we need to build it, and we're going to place it here. Now, this left outside will take damage as well. So once you build a decent structure, it might be in your best interest to go ahead and move this indoors. We highlight over it. We don't have anything to put into it. You can see what we need. We need 20 loose small stones, and we need 5 stone blocks. And I can put the rocks that I have in. As you can see, it just tallies it up. This works like the base too. We could do a whole base preview, and we'll go over that here pretty soon. All right, so that's done. So the next thing we want to do is hit our build menu, and we want to start building some kind of a shelter so we can have a place to rest, craft, and have safety from the elements. Now that we've built our estate cairn, it's unlocked the basic items to build with, which is stone and just straight up wood, sticks. You can get better as you go, and you can buy these just like everything. You can unlock them from traders, quests, all kinds of cool stuff. Base building in the game is pretty cool, and it allows you to place down your whole base in blueprint mode. So you can kind of design it exactly how you want it without having to commit any resources to it. If you mess up like I did here, you can hold E and deconstruct it. When you start out, you will not have sloped roofs. You can actually buy it from the trader here, stone and wood. And a lot of blueprints can be bought from different traders. And different traders in different realms will have different items, as well as higher tier realms. Those traders will have higher tiered items as well. So it's in your best interest to check traders when you enter a new realm. But all we have right now is a flat roof, so let's go ahead and do that. And then if we highlight over this, it just gives us a sum total of everything we need for the whole blueprint. You can see. And just hit what you got and just carry on and get the rest of it. All right. Once we're done, we want to move our estate card inside by hitting X, coming up to it, and hitting R. Let's put it in a corner. It is now protected. As you can see, there's a health bar. You would need to repair this with a hammer. Now, Puck has basically told us that he wants us to go to the trader, but we're not ready for that. If we hit B, we have some more benches there that we can go ahead and build. One of them is a workbench, a tannery, and of course our campfire. We want to build all three of these crafting benches. So let's go ahead and get this, and we'll put it like right here under the window. And let's do the tannery. We can place that. We'll place it right here in a corner. Highlight over it. It's going to tell you what you need. We're going to need sticks and wood. That's fine. And of course, let's build our campfire. And we'll put that, I don't know, right in the middle. So let's go ahead and get supplies, get those built, and then we'll go to the trader. And I'll show you how you're going to get ahead. Now, this is going to talk about building traits. Building traits modify the function of certain structures. The environment and nearby structures determine which traits the structure has. For example, a bedroll is more effective when it's in a warm, dry place. There are both positive and negative implications to traits. A few to look out for are environmental traits like grit and exposed, which are applied based on the location a structure is placed and increases crafting times. Benches gain the grit trait if they are built on the bare ground. You can avoid this by placing benches on a foundation or an existing structure within the realms. Benches are exposed if they are built in areas where they are not sheltered. Realm walkers can also add positive traits such as light and warmth by building a campfire near benches or bedrolls. Some structures can have augmentations, impact their effectiveness, and create new traits. To use an augmentation, you have to build it near the structure you want to impact. And I'll show more on this later. Compatible augmentation combos that will create new traits are defined in your guide. All right, so to just kind of highlight exactly what they're talking about here, let's go ahead and move this campfire outside in the open. Okay, and we put a little bit of wood in there and ignite it. And we want to cook some meat. We can see what the traits are. It's grit. The refinement time is increased by 15 seconds. So they just mean because it's on the ground, it's not on a foundation, and exposed. The structure is unsheltered and exposed to the elements, making work more difficult. Consider moving it beneath cover, lest its efficiency dwindle. So like if I went to craft one piece of meat here for prey, tier 1 prey, and I crafted it, you get this over here on the side. So it's about 23 seconds. And if I put the fire out and move this back indoors, where it is now positively impacting, as you can see by the green arrow, it's impacting our bed right here in the middle and our two workbenches right there, augmenting them. And if we craft another roast meat, it's done in 3 seconds. So those are just basics. Now I'm going to be going over crafting more in depth, and I'm going to touch on it a little bit more in the starter guide here, but I'm going to make a standalone video just for crafting because it's quite in depth. And now it's time to go to the trader. Now, if you see up on your top of your compass, now that we've built an estate cairn and we have a little base, you can see a little house icon right on the top of your mini map, and it kind of, you can see how as I go away, the distance You can see where you're at all times that way. You can also see a little yellow dot up there. Or you can just go into your map and throw down a beacon, which then would take you right there. And it's so much easier. But this is why we collected so much and extracted essence, is because of this right here. As you explore, you're going to find NPCs that you can go ahead and recruit, like Gladys here. There'll be some kind of an NPC nearby with an icon above their head. If you talk to them, they'll give you a quest to help them. In this particular quest, they want us to go ahead and fill these in, basically craft them, and then we'll get something out of this chest. It'll be more essence. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's talk to her. All right, now that we're done, you can see this pops up. And we can take even more essence. Now, the whole point of this game is to increase and upgrade all of your gear. This is pretty low tier gear right here. And we want to increase this so we can get our gear score up for the quest that Puck has given us right here. Get our gear score to 20. All he wants us to do is get the sewing bench. But with all of this essence that we have, we can come through. First of all, here's your sloped roofs if you want them. Stone and wood. There's lights. Realm cards that you can unlock. Simple items. The mall. This is actually pretty good. There's some enemies, including the boss inside here, that is actually weak to melee with the maul. Consider that. Also, we have an umbrella. If we don't know the recipe yet, we will not be able to repair it. Watch, I'll show you. See, you don't know the skill yet. But if I go ahead and come in here and I buy that, now I can repair it. But what we wanted to come down, we come down to refining tables. First of all, let's go ahead and buy what he wants. He wants us to buy the sewing bench. So let's go with that. This is going to allow us to start crafting armor. There's that. Let's just get everything we can. That's all of that, and come into refinement, and I'm going to grab everything. Now, yes, some of this can be unlocked by doing POIs and quests, but it's not guaranteed what you're going to get, and I'd much rather just go ahead and buy them, so especially benches early. You've now unlocked resources. Now, this is kind of a ripoff, and I'll be honest, because it's like if you were to get meat, it's one piece of meat for 10 essence. Okay? One stick for 10 essence. In my opinion, it's really not worth it unless it's some really rare stuff. We just got all of that. We're looking really good. We're going to recruit Gladys. We now have Gladys, and we can come into her inventory and we can give her items, or we can tell her, you know what, I don't want you harvesting everything around me. So I can just right click this and hit equip, and she'll wear it. So if she has a full complement of tools and you go out wood cutting, you can equip her axe and she will cut with you. Another thing you can do, if you make storage, like we will right here, and we come in here at the bottom, you can see survivors. You can click this, and this will give your NPC follower permission to come into this particular storage bin, and they'll store things over time. But I will warn you, the AI is not like Sons of the Forest AI, okay? You're not going to be able to tell the AI to do specific things. It's more autonomous. And it's going to benefit you, especially if you're going to use them to help you with combat, to upgrade their gear. Just like you're upgrading yours, you're going to have to upgrade theirs as well. You don't have to have any NPC followers if you don't want, so don't feel pressured into doing it. It's just a side thing that you can have. And you can recruit. It seems like just about every realm I've come across has had different NPCs that I could recruit, and you can only have one NPC recruited at a time, at least at the time of making this video. And I'm making this right before the launch of the game, our sewing bench. And again, if we highlight over, if we click it, it's going to give us all the valid augmentations. And of course, that trader did not have any. Once it's upgraded, we can come in here and we can start upgrading and building all of these. As you see, you're going to need leather and lots of leather and plant fiber. So what we can do here is get all of our hide. Crafting items do not have a flat stat. For instance, all meat does not have the same health stats and hunger mitigation, as well as hides. As you can see here, the predator hide has health regeneration, and cold resistance. This predator has health regeneration, and rain resistance, whereas this one is predator as well, but it has cold resistance, different animals. And the prey has stamina regeneration, and cold, because I guess it makes sense because they have to run. Now that translates over into leather, whereas you can see this is leather from force wine, and it gives me 15% health, 5% durability, and 10% hunger mitigation. And this health, rain resistance, and durability. The same thing can be applied to woods, sticks, even plant fiber. As you see, this has no stats, but the bound bristle that we picked up off of the unbound when we had to fight them, we get health and stamina. If I come over and I decide I am going to start with a shirt, I'm going to use the force wine leather, and I can't use the bound bristle. We'll use that and we will craft it. We now have our shirt, and you can see I have a maximum health of 17.2, stamina of 10, health regeneration 5, stealth rating. You can see how that all works out. If I decided to make the same shirt, but I used, say, the other leather, where you can see the health is lower. And this is the bottom of the barrel crafting benches. So as you improve your crafting benches, you'll be able to build better things. So because I have two, I'll actually keep one for myself and give one to my follower. So we'll equip this. My gear score now goes up. If I equip this again, my gear score goes down. I'm going to do that with all of our gear and our weapons and tools until we hit at least a 20, which we should once we upgrade everything. Let's talk to her. Go ahead and drag this over, right click on it, and tell her to equip it. Her gear score goes up as well. Also, if you find great places to go ahead and mine, it might be in your best interest to come into your map here and just put some kind of a marker, a map stamp, to let you know that that's a mining area, because it's going to come in handy later. Once again, with crafting, if you had different stone blocks here, you could go ahead and select a different stone block for a different stat allocation on that, but we don't have anything. In early game, you don't worry about it, man. Your immediate goal is to upgrade your gear score to 20. Of course, because I do have two different leathers, this is the downside to it as well, at least right now. Just remember, it's early access and this could change, because this build that you guys are looking at now is different from the preview build that we were checking out for the last 2 weeks. I can't use both of these. I have to use two of the same type of leather. Now, in order to split a stack, all you have to do is go into any inventory, storage, or anything like that, or a crafting bench. If you hold shift and move it over, you can get a slide bar and tell exactly what you want to do. Now our gear score is level 20, and from here, you're free to tackle the next part of the quest, but I advise coming back to the trader here, making sure you get the mall blueprint from the trader, because you're going to need it for this. And maybe make two, one for you and one for your follower. Here we go. Simple items. We're going to get the mall. We still have 300. Go ahead and buy that. Doing it this way with all the essence like we did allowed you to skip a lot of steps and get ahead to be able to start crafting every one of these workbenches. You can start setting down the blueprints and start filling it in with what you need, so you can start playing with all the different crafting and you can get ahead, because that is hours off your time, your grind time. Trust me. Also, because we have now upgraded to the next tier of pickaxes, we can start mining things like ore. So this right here, you cannot. You need a higher tier, because that's why, even though I'm holding a pick, it's red here. As you can see the inside, this is tin. This will allow you to start smelting with the smelter, which we unlocked from the blueprint trader. Pretty awesome. And from here, you're ready. You're ready to tackle the next part of the quest. Use the unlock the antiquarian, and you've also unlocked just about every blueprint, crafting blueprint that you can at this point in the game. Of course, building some of these things will unlock different recipes, as you can see: glass, ingots, reclaimed ingots, shaft. Like there's all kinds of things you've skipped hours and hours of grind by starting early and getting all of that essence in the tutorial. Now, if you guys are interested in the first side of power, go ahead and click this video right here and I'll walk you through that. Anyways, I'm Granddaddy Gamer. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time.